zone. That's rotate. Okay. Now again, I told you guys this could be a fake out. It could come right back up.
All right, good morning, guys. Today is Wednesday, October 18th. As usual, we'll be doing analysis for US 30, gold, and EU. Now, looking at the charts here, starting off at our daily bars for US 30, bullish, gold bullish, heavily bullish. This is a key thing about following your daily bias. EU bullish, dollar bearish. Now, give me 1 second. There's something I should have. Anyway, so here I'm trying to count. So the same thing, we use the rejection indicator. So I want to see if we have any opposing signal. So since we turned bullish for the EU, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, since it's 7 days since we became bullish, I'm curious in case we start getting a sell signal. So here, if I turn on the rejection indicator, there's no sell present yet. So that's perfect. So I go ahead and turn that off. Also, there's a US 30 trade that I am looking at. Let me come here real quick. Give me 1 second before I go. So we have a 30-minute entry, possible break and continuation of a double buy SAR on the 30-minute time frame, but this one would need price to close above 33,920. There's also this trade, this test and rejection validated up here, but again, I said it's better to wait for retracement. So looking at how US 30 pushed up so far for this trade, so I mentioned if somebody who entered this trade, so for somebody who entered this trade, when the trade validated, they would have gotten stopped out, or they would have already been at a 1:1 risk to reward. So at this point, I go ahead and delete this trade because well, wait, actually, let me see something. So I don't want the trade to have achieved a 1:1 risk to reward. That's the key thing. Let me see whether it achieved 1:1 before or hit stop loss before. If it hit stop loss before, that is fine. That's what I want to see. Let's see what happened here. So this is assuming, there's somebody who would have taken the trade when it validated, regardless of their stop loss not being below the SARs. So here, I want to see, I don't know. I think it hits, yeah, because the market opened here. I think it hit stop loss before. So yeah, so I'll still wait for this trade down here and wait on the 1 minute time frame. For this 30-minute entry, in the next 17 minutes, I need US 30 to close above here. EU, there's a trade also for EU. Actually, it invalidated. So the one I was looking at was possible test and rejection. Test candle validated, rejection candle did not. So this trade is invalidated. We have to wait for another setup for EU. Gold, right, there's no SARs where gold is right now, neither on the 15-minute nor the 30-minute. The 30-minute, right, the SARs are all the way down here, but gold, fully bullish. I've been making gold, money on gold with the EA, so that's right. And also speaking of the EA, you can see like how I'm recovering that account. So I want to say something. I just got the new update for the EA. So right now I'm just working on some last minute things to deploy it. But you can see this 2 days I shouldn't have traded it, but I was just pushing it, but it recovered. It went back to 100K because it was up 6%. Shouldn't have traded those last 2 days after gold changed, was showing signs of changing volume. But right now I've just been catching buys, and you can see in 2 days, it's October 12th, October 18th, in like 1 week, that's 3%. So right now, on gold also, which is what I was curious about looking at here. On gold, where is that chart for gold on the daily? For on the daily here, for gold, how many days since we got a bullish bias? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right now, when I turn on the rejection indicator, if I get a sell signal on the rejection on the daily time frame using the rejection indicator, I won't change my bias from sells to buys. I'm sorry, from buys to sells, but I'll stop looking on my EA. I'll stop selling. I'll stop buying gold and just wait, because if we get a sell, you see like what happened here, and I talked about why this sell would have been invalid. That's why you need to count since your bias changed, you count 7 days. So 1, 2, this sell appeared within the 7-day range. So this is invalid. It doesn't really tell you anything, because within these 7 days after you change your bias, it's normal for price to retrace before going in the direction of the bias. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So anywhere from Thursday or Friday, or anywhere from Thursday going forward, if I get a sell signal based off of the rejection indicator, I will stop trading buys on my EA and just wait. I will still keep looking for buys on the sell based off of the SARs, but I'll be a little bit more cautious for that. So nothing yet. So we can keep buying gold. US 30, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So US 30 has already reached the 7-day threshold since it gave us a buy signal. Now here, what that means is that if I turn on the rejection, any sell that I get from today going forward is just telling me to go easy on buys for US 30. Now, I don't trade US 30 with any EA out there. So for me, I just trade SARs with the EA. I'm sorry, I just trade SARs with my daily bias. Now, what I'll do for US 30, it will just be a warning that the bias might be changing. But for me, my overall bias on US 30 is still bullish based off of this trade right here. Based off of historical data, US 30 should go and create a new all-time high before the year ends and close the year with a new yearly high. That's just, historically, that's what US 30 has done. So I'm just using probabilities. So the only one I'll be cautious of right now is gold. So anyway, we have 12 minutes before this US 30 30-minute trade validates or does not validate. So if this trade closes, I want this trade again to close right above here, right above 33,920. If that happens, I will be taking a buy for US 30, 0.75% risk, 50 pips stop loss, and 100 pips TP. So we just have to wait 12 minutes. EU already invalidated the setup I was looking for. I know there's nothing on gold. So keep in mind this gold trade, US 30 trade on the hourly time frame. So this gold trade on the hourly time frame, if gold gets in between this 33,870 to 33,855, so comes back to this double SAR buy zone, I will be going down to the 1-minute time frame, and I will look for a buy on gold on the 1-minute time frame as well. So even though this 30-minute invalidates, this 30-minute trade invalidates, that's perfectly fine for me, because I know there's a trade on the hourly time frame that validated, but I've just been waiting for it to come back down. So we'll see what that does. But anyway, there's nothing for gold. So the only trades we can get today is either US 30 or EU. So US 30 on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so you can see here, also on the 15-minute time frame, we are getting a test and rejection entry. So this is a 30-minute trade. On the 15-minute, look at what US 30 is doing. It's testing so this is a test and rejection entry, so possible test and rejection. Oh, I need to transfer. I'm trying to use this new tool. So this is test and rejection by Control C, Control V. This is test and rejection by so this is test and rejection buy on the 15-minute time frame. So possible test and rejection. And then this trade would either validate or invalidate in the next 10 minutes or 9 minutes. So this is US30. So that's another possible trade setup. Again, this is on the 15-minute time frame. This other one is the 30-minute entry. So those are the entry areas on US30. So we just have to see. So right now, let's see where US30 is on the, yes, so this is what I want. I want US30 to come inside this zone. And now, so the 1 hour is already valid. So that is fine. So what I'll do right now, I'll go down to the 1 minute and look for an entry. I need a live SAR to form on the hourly time frame. So what I'll do here, I'll reduce the extension of the SARs. And then I need a live SAR to form. So similar to what we had yesterday. What did we have yesterday, Audrey? I think it was gold. So similar, but I do not want overextension for that live SAR. So we know that the hourly trade that validated, right? This is a trade that validated. So I said I was waiting for gold to come, I'm sorry, for US30 to come back down here. So right now it's just I'm sorry, give me a second. Yeah, so right now it's just waiting for that 1 minute entry. So we know we have a 1 minute entry. I'm sorry, we have an hourly trade. We have a 15-minute trade that will either validate or invalidate soon. And we also have a 30-minute trade. So at 10 a.m., we know we have a 30-minute trade or 15-minute trade that may either invalidate or validate. But right now, the trade I'm looking to get in right now is based off of the hourly time frame. I'm sorry, I have to choose this. $243. So this is so at this point when you get to this zone, I don't care if US30 keeps dropping. So if it keeps dropping, the better, right? So long as, because we need that switched of the momentum back to the upside. So I don't care if it keeps dropping, because again, right, I know what I'm waiting for before I take a buy on US30. There's also something I want to test out here using the rejection. So you guys remember yesterday when we did the same thing on gold, so same trade setup, but there was also using the rejection indicator, there was a buy entry. Now the buy entry, in my opinion, in such an instance would be a bit riskier than the live entry, but I'm just going to observe the buy entry if we do get a buy entry based off of the rejection indicator. And I just want to see the parameters, because I said I'll be forward testing that. So I may not take the official trade will be taken using a 1 minute live SAR and not the rejection buy entry. But right here, if you guys want to follow through what the requirements of that, let me put that right here real quick, rejection. And see the rejection versus strategy. Maybe it's on another chart. But ideally here, the buy that we get, we don't want that buy to be the lowest candle of this retracement, because here, what we're expecting US30 to swing back to the upside. So for example, like this candle right here, if this candle closes with a buy signal, that trade would be invalid because this is the lowest candle of this retracement. So we would want a buy, or if you're trading the reversal, the rejection, like even on the hourly or 4 hour, whatever direction you're trading, the candle that you get the signal from should not be the lowest candle of a retracement, because here we're expecting, or I'm expecting US30 to swing back up. So I don't want to take the trade based off of the lowest candle of the retracement. Sometimes it does work out, but I just, the probabilities of that working out are not as good as the ones if the candle is not the lowest. So for example, right here, this candle is the lowest candle of the retracement. So that's not a trade I would take. Also, the other requirement is you need to make sure price is rejecting from an SAR. So I just extended my SARs. So there's no SAR even on the 1 minute here. So this is another key thing. So this is not there's no SAR on the 1 minute. So it's not, as much as the trade is shooting up or the price is shooting up, I would have wanted to, for example, see an SAR here if I extended it. And then I would have wanted this candle not to be the lowest candle of that retracement. So 2 red flags of this trade, as much as price is shooting up. 2 red flags of this trade if you were trading the rejection. So it doesn't matter whether it's in the 4 hour or 1 hour. So same idea. 2 red flags of this would have been no rejection of an SAR level. Also, the candle that gave you the buy signal was the lowest candle of this retracement. So the low of that candle was the lowest of this move back down. So I'll just go ahead and remove the extension. So we already know here that there's no SARs here. And you can see that, you can see this price retracement back to the downside. So we are still waiting for that live 1 minute SAR. So we are still in good time. And also I know at 10 a.m. we need to watch the 15-minute entry. We also need to watch the 30-minute entry. And if anybody has any questions, just feel free to ask. But right now it's just a matter of patience. Okay, so there's our live SAR, right? So there's our live 1 minute SAR. So here we need 2 candles to close above that zone. So I like how price is not overextended, right? It's not like a huge candle that went up and created that live SAR. So I like how, compared to what we had on gold yesterday, I like how that's set up. What's up? What's up, Steven?
Yo, what's up?
What's good on EU? I'm waiting for. I've been trying to catch a buy on EU. Well, not been trying, but I've been waiting for. But every time it gets invalidated.
I'm actually in a small short right now. I took a small long earlier, but I'm scalping on the 1 minute. Dollar's been kind of just choppy this whole week so far.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow, Friday should be good expansion days.
Yeah, gold has just been pushing. 1962.
Man, I wish I bought gold.
Yeah. I have some accounts I'm recovering with gold. Like I've just been taking buys straight up.
Man, that thing's ripping.
Also, I'll probably be reaching out to you and Audrey and Dean to test the EA. I finally got the big update. So I just need to, because I'm trying to deploy it on market, on MQL5 market. So I'll probably be reaching out to you guys to test it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, see here, if I, let me see. I'm waiting for US30. Here, if I stop trading for this 2 days that I shouldn't have, I would be up like 10%. I mean, I know it's a demo, I've just been testing it, but because I wasn't supposed to be selling here, but my dumbass, I mean, I was just stress testing it. It's a nice growth curve.
Basically just trend buys. You set it to buy or sell only.
Yeah. And then it has like different entry logic. So there's like an entry logic where as soon as you put it in, it checks the, like for me, I don't trade both buys and sells, but for people who trade both buys and sells, they can still make money, but not as much. But yeah, so for me, I just do buys and sells. But the good thing about it, it has like 2 logic entries. So for the first one is like, once you put it on the chart right there and then, and you're doing buys only, it will wait for a buy signal. And then every time, so long as this the signal is a buy, like if a trade hits TP, it gets into another buy. If a trade hits TP, immediately gets into another buy. But then it also has like the moving average entry, which is safer. Like it waits for a test of a moving average entry before it enters any first trade. So, but the one I'm doing here is like the instant entry, because I'm pretty sure like I have like a 90% probability that gold is going to keep pushing. But for people who like trade both buys and sells, the issue with instant entry is you can get caught buying a high and selling a low. That's just the issue.
Just wait for a pullback and then turn it on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you can also do them. So the moving average, you can do that, or doing the pullback. I need this. So here, so you can see here so this live 1 minute SAR, right? So which is the key thing about patience. So we didn't get 2 candles closing above this live 1 minute SAR. So, right, we just have to wait or keep waiting. Also, you can see why this buy was invalid, right? So as much as US30 pushed based off of this rejection buy, I just told you guys like the, what is it called? The red flags of that trade. So for this trade, if you had indeed taken it, you wouldn't have even gotten to a 1:1 risk to reward, right? So this is the point where I just tell you guys, just stick to your rules. Like if something is not lining up, as much as we saw that push to the upside, you can see the retracement. And now, right, you would have just been in profit like 10 pips or something, but right now your trade would be coming to stop loss. So this is the key of just waiting for that, all your rules to align. So right now, again, right, if I extend the SARs, if I'm to get into a US30 buy based off of the rejection signal, I need to see where my SARs are, like here on the 1 minute. So again, if I extend this, the last time we extended it, we didn't see any SAR around this zone on the 1 minute time frame, right? So you can see this whole place, there's nothing. But it's ideally because, right, the SARs are limited. You can only extend them for 500 candles, up to 500 candles. But you can see here, there's no extension. So which is why you need to wait for price to push back up, even if you're trading the rejection, even though you're trading the rejection indicator, you'd need to get a buy somewhere like around these SARs. At that point, if US30 gives that, then you're given that momentum, because keep in mind, rejection, you should interpret a rejection as momentum. So you want to get that momentum, and mostly a good confluence to momentum is an SAR or rejection off of an SAR. So if we go back down to if we go back up to the 15-minute and 30-minute timeframes, you'll see that, so this was a 15-minute entry down here, right? So this was a possible test and rejection. So what happened? So the test candle, yes, validated. What did the rejection candle do? The rejection candle closed in that SAR zone. So at this point, that trade is invalid. So you go ahead and delete that, right? The 30-minute, what did the 30-minute do? So this setup up here was a 30-minute, possible 30-minute entry. So if we go up to the possible 30-minute entry, was a break and continuation. So this is the break candle, the continuation candle. The break candle validated, closed above this double SAR zone. What did the continuation candle do? So we wanted this continuation candle to close above this SAR zone in order for us to take that trade. But what did the continuation candle do? The continuation candle closed all the way back down. So we go ahead and delete this trade. So it doesn't, so here it's still fine that the zone is still valid, but right now, if you were to trade this 30-minute zone again, what entry would you be looking for? You'd be looking for a break and continuation, because at this point, your SAR zone is now above price. So it's all about patience. So here we'll just go back. So right now, our 15-minute trades are gone, or they're invalidated. 30-minute was invalidated. So the only US 30 trade we have is this one. So keep in mind, this is the one we are waiting for it on the 1-minute time frame. So I'll go back on the 1-minute time frame. We don't have any trade for gold, no trade for EU, no trade for gold or EU. So the only trade, the only trade I can see us catching on the live session is this US 30 trade, but we need a live SAR to be created. And keep in mind, so right now, if US 30 pushes all the way up, I'm not going to trade this live SAR. So remember, you want to trade a live SAR that's within the candles you've extended. So if you go to the settings, so the default extension is 5. So whatever number you see here, this is the amount extend line. This is the amount of candles an SAR will be extended to. So the max is 500. The least, I guess, is 1 or something. But anyway, the default one is 5. So I need, like what's happening right now. So I need a live one. So within this 1-minute one, and this is fine compared to gold yesterday. It's not like so yesterday the red flag with gold was gold pumped up, pushed up so heavy like this, and then the SAR was created somewhere above here. But right now for US 30, the SAR was created like in between this candle. So this is perfect. So we now need to wait for the next 1-minute candle. So I want the next 1-minute candle to come back and possibly close around here. So I want to do it. I want it to do what it's exactly doing at this moment. Now, if it keeps pumping up, again, I'll just forget about that trade. So it's all about that patience thing. So right now, what I would want to see, I don't want this 1 minute. So keep in mind, right now we're trading the hourly. So this is the trade we're looking for. This trade that validated up here with somebody who entered in when the trade validated, but couldn't handle their stop loss or couldn't wait to put their stop loss below this SAR. This is the trade that we are trading. So right now, this is the trade that we are trading, but I'm just hoping we get some sort of retracement before US 30 rockets to the upside. Again, if I cannot have my stop loss, remember the key thing is always, where is your stop loss? If I cannot have my stop loss below this SAR, so if my stop loss relative to my entry is like 100% of my SAR, I'm not taking it. If my entry relative to where my SAR is, so right now, my entry relative to my SAR is about 80%. So I'm not taking that. So at this point, we just wait for another retracement down here. So I'll just wait for the retracement down here. Now, here's another tricky part. Normally, we go down to the 1-minute or 5-minute timeframes when we've already exhausted the 4-hour, 1 hour, or 15-minute and 30-minute. But right now, this is the lowest time frame I trade, the 1-minute time frame. So this is something I haven't had to do before. So unless I go down to the 15-second or 30-second time frame, so what I'll do here, I'll just wait for price to come around this zone and I'll just tag in. So I'll enter on impulse here, because unless I go down to, because the rules are, if your entry is far away from your SAR, go down to a lower time frame. So unless I go down to like a 30-second, which probably Steven trades or something, unless I go down to a 30-second or 15-second time frame, which honestly, I don't know how to trade those, but the logic would be the same, but I don't really want to start doing that. So I'll just wait for price to come back down to this SAR. And if price touches here, I will go ahead and buy US 30. So remember, I'm doing it with a 0.75% risk, 50 pips stop loss, 100 pips TP. So I'll let you guys know when I'm in. Also, let me see something. Also, remember, you can also wait for a buy signal on the, so you remember when I was telling you guys, this buys right here are a red flag. The buys based off of the rejection candle are red flags because there was no rejection of an SAR. But right here, you can see we are back in SAR zone. So if we do get also a buy, I'm not in the US 30 buy yet. Okay, I'm buying US30 now. I'm in the trade right now. So you can also wait for a rejection entry. So 30, 50 pips stop loss, 100 pips TP. I'm doing a 0.75% risk. So the other trade you can wait for a rejection entry in this zones right here. So I'll go ahead and turn this off. All right, so keep in mind, this trade is on the hourly time frame, so it's based off of this right here. So it's based off of this hourly entry. So better yet, I'll put it here. I'll just leave it there. All right, and at this point, see, I'm just hoping we don't get faked out, but anyway, so trying to see any other setups that there may be. All right, yeah, so right now that's the only trade. So let's see how this trade will play out. So even for me, I'm in drawdown right now. What's that, 800? And she's dropping. I just don't want to get faked out for this one. So for this rejection one, what I would want to see, I would want to see the 1 minute come back up and also give a buy based off of the rejection entry. So if I also see a rejection entry like somewhere around this zone, I might choose to just personally scale in, but let's just see how this current trade plays out. So watch that. So you can see we're coming back above the HMA. So the HMA is green. So watch for any. So what I would also want to see is another buy, rejection buy in this zone. So you can see price is now above the HMA on the 1 minute time frame. And I do know if I extend the SARs, right, we have some SARs right here. So I would want to see that momentum, because if we do get a buy, like this one we got here, the one in blue, it will show some momentum, but I want that buy to come in when price is rejecting off of an SAR level. All right, there it is. So if I extend my SAR, I'm pretty sure, I don't think we have SARs down here. So you just still need to, but you can see the momentum, right? That's what I mean about momentum right there. We just have a lot of momentum. But if I extend, I don't think there was any SARs down there. The SARs are somewhere. Yeah, they're somewhere above there. So I mean, it's good. It's good that there's momentum, but I would have wanted to see some SARs down there. So looking at the rejection entry by itself. So if this buy closes, what is a red flag of it? So it's not the lowest candle of this retracement back down. So that is perfect, right? The only red flag, if you're taking the rejection buy, is that there's no SAR. There's no SAR zone down here. So I'd have wanted to see an SAR right here. But that's the only red flag. Like if you're just taking the rejection strategy by itself, the red flag for this buy would have been no live SAR on that particular area. So let's see, this is 33,882. I want to simulate that in this hourly, because the trade is technically the hourly trade. So we'll see. To be honest, like I don't like looking at 1 minute candles. When I think I just have trauma from when I first started trading, because 1 minute candles be moving so fast. I don't know, Audrey, if you remember when we used to trade with Sean, those things used to. I would rather look. I'd rather look at this trade on the hourly time frame, man. you know, I know Steven even trades on the 15-second time frame. I just
Plenty of time.
dude, like I would have to be either on tequila or something, man. Like my nerves, like if I mean, I know like it doesn't matter whether the trade is, there's just something about 1 minute candles to me. And, even for me, I mean, I don't trade on the 1 minute, so it's not like something I need, quote unquote, to work on. But yeah, I just don't like how they move too fast. Anyway, let's see what else we have. So gold, unfortunately, we didn't get anything on gold. Using the rejection indicator, there was something that came up yesterday, but it was at, what is it? This was 3 p.m. So there was a 3 p.m. buy. So keep in mind, for me on the rejection indicator, I've applied the moving average filter. If you do no filter, you'll just get a lot, right? You'll get a lot of buys, a lot of sells or whatever. It can confuse you. But keep in mind that one of the rules for the rejection strategy is that if you're buying, you want price to be, or the buy signal to be above the moving average. If you're selling, you want the sell signal to be below the moving average. So you can see here, if you don't put any filter, you're going to have some buy signal when price is even below the moving average. So, for me, I just find it easier to use the moving average filter right there. Actually, there was nothing, my bad. This was a reversal indicator that was in moving average. So yeah, there was nothing. Gold, that's Monday. Yesterday, there was nothing on the 30-minute. On the 15-minute, nothing as well on the 15-minute for yesterday, if you had filtered out the signals. Even on the hourly, I was looking for a gold entry on the hourly time frame, but this thing just pumped all the way up. Did not even give me a chance to, because I was looking at this double SAR yesterday, and I was hoping for gold to retrace back down here, like what US 30 just did, and then push all the way up, but gold has just been going. EU is testing a double SAR, but there's nothing price. Every time price has closed inside this double SAR zone or opened in between or inside this double SAR zone. So EU, unless it breaks above and gives us a new test and rejection, or breaks below and gives us a break and continuation, on this hourly time frame, there is nothing for EU. So US 30 is in profit. So keep in mind, if you are, once you achieve 1:1 risk to reward, go ahead and set break even. So 1:1 would be, let's calculate that. 1:1 would be here. So if price gets to this zone, you go ahead and set break even. So let me revisit something. So you guys see how it closed above here. If we had entered there, we would have gotten faked out and price would have come back in profit. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this trade goes into, it does make sense, it's a valid trade, but this is what I was talking about, right? If a trade validates and your entry relative to where your SAR is, because here our SAR that we were trading was like 70%, 80% of our stop loss. So I know even for me, sometimes it's hard because I just want to be in a trade, especially like how we lost the setup for the 15-minute time frame. We lost the setup for the 30-minute time frame. So sometimes if you have like X amount of trade setups and then they keep getting invalidated, like the one time you have a trade that has validated, even though it may have a red flag, you can be like, man, okay, so go ahead and set break even. I'm up like 1700. Oh shit, my chart is frozen, man. Man, these people. I gotta go on my phone because but go ahead. Oh wait, okay, I got it now. It's back. So set break even on that trade. We should hit TP. Oh, secure some profit if you want. Move stop loss to break even. Okay, so my stop loss is at break even. So for this trade, right? This has come after time and time of getting faked out, and it'd be hurting because you enter this trade, you get, and this has happened to us multiple times on the live session. we get faked out, and not by a lot, by just like 2 pips or 1 pip, and price reverses all the way back in our direction. So you guys remember yesterday when I said that if you take a trade and it hits stop loss, ask yourself, is there anything better that I could have avoided stop loss getting hit? If there is something you could have done, make sure you improve on that going forward. Because when I said to wait here, because, you know, and you guys heard me mention that, oh, unless we went down to the 15-second or 30-second, which I don't trade, this was also like a red flag, this overextension, because I wanted this 1 minute candle to come back and close next to this SAR, because I always want my entry to be next to those SARs. So as much as sometimes you might feel the need of jumping in, just, you know, keep an example of this trade in mind. If we jumped into this trade immediately just because our 15-minute had been violated or invalidated, our 30-minute had been invalidated, and we didn't want to miss out on this trade, look at this, we would have gotten faked out for no good reason. So right now, the best case scenario is that we just end up at break even, because this trade is at break even. So if you ever feel FOMO, and if you ever see like an overextended candle, and even though the trade is valid and you really, really want to go in, remember like such a setup from today, that if we had jumped in and there was that red flag of actually it's also called an imbalance, right? For you guys who do like ICT concepts, and I'd gone over it yesterday, there was an imbalance that was created on this 1 minute. Was it a fair value gap, right? And I think fair value gap is created during an imbalance, and Steven probably knows more about that than me, but what I know is that this is definitely a fair value gap. So this is another reason why I waited for price to come back down here to this SAR, because it was next to the area where it closed that fair value gap, if that makes sense. So I'm just hoping we shoot into full TP, and at least that should give us a nice 1.5% return. So yesterday there was no official trade. Price just kept pumping up to the upside. So as much as on the official trades, we are down like minus 2.25 for the month. If this trade goes into full TP, guess what? That will be a 1.5% gain. And then we'll just be down minus 0.75 for the month. So that's another good thing about make sure you have a nice risk to reward, and then make sure you're setting a break even at a given time. So we'll just see how this trade plays out. Man, Steven, I think you brought blessings to the live session today, because the last few trades, man, I know we had losses last Friday, we had a loss on Thursday, 2 break evens the previous week, we had a loss the previous Wednesday.
What? You took a loss?
I took a loss, man.
All right.
Yo, when I took those losses, when I took those losses, man, I went back, I was like, what could I have done better? Each and every time I found that, you know, there's something I could have done better. I mean, I like the trades where the trade is valid, and even though I lose the trade, I'm like, there's nothing I could have done to avoid that L. But if there's something I could have done, I normally feel bad, you know.
That's the right way to approach it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I almost like taking a loss, because then I could look at what I did wrong, and if I might have just followed my process and still got it wrong, but if there was something I could have done better, then that's when you figure it out, right? You figure it out when you take a loss.
Yep.
Yeah, dollars just, if you look at all the indices, even Euro, USD, everything's just chopping sideways. So everything's basically flowing into gold right now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like 30-second, 1 minute chart. I could get in and out of a trade in like 2 minutes. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, because man, you'd be doing like a 5 pip stop loss on E, or like a 2 pip stop losses, man. Man, this volatility, man. I just need this win. Figure out that.
yeah, I think I'm done for today.
Um, You say you're done for the day?
I think so. It's not much movement really.
Yeah, price is just, and we don't have anything this week, do we?
I think there's news tomorrow, and then I think Powell speaking tomorrow as well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna do anything, but we have 8:30 news. I need to look up what he's talking about tomorrow.
Maybe that's why the market is acting all. Man, I don't want to get taken out at break even for this. If it happens, it happens. Yeah, even US 30 has just been consolidating.
Yeah, everything when you zoom out is just, we're not going anywhere. I still think we go down overall. I think all the indexes are gonna go down. That's my bias.
I just need this TP. All right, see what this is. All right, I'm still in the trade. I came from being up 1800, now I'm up 400. Now would be a good time to get a 1 minute rejection. Now would be a good, if it's gonna happen, it has to happen now, because I think this is the last SAR to get some rejection. But for that to happen, no, actually we still have this. So it's currently rejecting off of this previous SAR. But I just do not. I'm still in the trade, fingers crossed. I don't want these people to kick me out. But if I get kicked out, if I get kicked out, I'll look for a rejection entry, but I don't want to do it on the 1 minute. I don't trade. I don't honestly, even right now, I should just go back to the 15 minute because I'm already in the trade. So if I go back and extend this is what I'll do just personally in case I get tapped out of this. But that momentum back to the downside is so heavy. It's too much momentum back down to the. So I'm stopped out at break even. It is what it is. So personally, what I will do, so you can see the current 15-minute candle, it opened above this double SAR. So I'll wait for a possible test and rejection or a break and continuation on the 15-minute or on the 30-minute. So if you're like me, you got stopped out at break even. The trade was up about 80%. So maybe you guys secured some profit, but if not, it is what it is, right? You just wait for the new one. But going forward, right, I'll just go back to the drawing board, just look for the trades, just as if nothing happened. So I'll either break and continuation or test and rejection. So you can see right here, this 15-minute candle closed heavily bearish, and this is a heavily bearish candle. So unless there's some momentum for buyers to bring price all the way up, because if you look at this wick, what this wick is telling you is that there's a lot of sellers sitting here because price opened up heavily bullish, but sellers brought price all the way down 964 to, so that's over 120 pips, and that's heavy for US 30. So there's a bunch of sellers in the market. So if you zoom out, you'll see that there's some support area for US. So this week just got broken by this candle. So what's happening now, you might see this. So you might see this, you might see this, and US 30 to flash to the downside. So if that happens, that's fine by me as well, because what do we have here at the bottom? We have other SARs right here. This is a triple SAR zone right there. So if US 30 wants to keep dropping, I mean, that's fine. So the key thing, right, at least this time, we were able to set break even. Some of these previous trades, price just got shy of a break even by like 2 pips and then reversed. Like I think this one on this Wednesday and this one on this Thursday. But at least today we were able to, at the very least, have break even. So for me, it's a break even kind of day, and then I'll just wait for other trade setups later on. Any last questions? All right, perfect. So just observe, so nothing, so everything is the same. The setups are still the same. What you would be looking for, either break and continuation, test and rejection. I'm not gonna, for the rejection indicator, I'm not gonna mess with that on the 1 minute time frame. I don't even mess with it on the 15 minute or 30 minute. The rejection indicator, I like using it on the hourly time frame and on the 4-hour time frame. So also here for US 30, so you see the same zone that our trade was based off of, the trade we entered. So what is looking like it's forming? This is a possible test and rejection, because now we have, so we can actually use the same markup, because this is the candle, the hourly candle that was before this current hour. It tested this double SAR zone, closed above it, the rejection candle. So we need this current hourly candle in the next 27 minutes to close above 33,869. And if that does happen, I will be buying US 30 again. So remember, right, that's what trading is. There's always going to be a new setup, whether you hit break even, whether you hit TP, whether you hit stop loss, there's always going to be another trade setup. You just have to be patient and then just make sure you're saving your leverage and saving your capital. But if there's no other, or if there's no questions or clarifications from anyone, I will catch you guys tomorrow. All right, see you guys. Peace.